Alright, what is going on, everyone? First and foremost, I want to say thank you for being here right now, watching this video. I do really appreciate you for your time, and I would really appreciate if you do consider subscribing, because it truly does help me out a lot. Now, we got Kingvon and Lil Durk, man, the evil twins, the fall of the evil twins. We all know Kingvon recently passed, not even recently, a few years ago passed away, right? And that whole thing was tragic, and it just looks like, you know, Lil Durk has been staying out the streets and things like that. But other than that, man, we all know Lil Kingvon, right? Kingvon was an absolute menace. Before and after the fame, he always stayed the same. You get what I mean? He's been in and out of prison since he was a kid. His mugshots basically show him basically growing up. You get what I mean? And it's crazy, bro. But at the end of the day, bro. But you guys do know when he did pass away, he was, you know, ready to put the beats on Quando Rondo and whatnot. But, you know, the streets don't play fair, so they ended up pulling out a gun and shooting him. But, yeah, man, all I'm saying is he's ready to stand on business no matter what. If there's any kind of beef, he's going to settle that. You get what I mean? Whether that's in or outside of jail. Because it seems like bro is just used to being inside of jail. I don't know what it is, but, like, there's clips of him fighting people in jail, jumping people, you know, all kinds of stuff. But without further ado, yeah, man, let's just play the video, see what it's talking about.
Cause he got a whole story behind him. You know what I'm saying? He just a real just with him. You know what I'm saying? It's my brother, twin.
Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots.
Yo, we out here. We out here. Yo, what's up? I'm getting fired in the motherfucker.
Shout out, I want to shout out everybody that was on my I want coming out on suck my.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. Two of Chicago's most popular artists used to consider themselves twins, and they had a real big reputation in the streets. Kingvon and Lil Durk, unlike other rappers, lived their raps. And with that came some trouble that got them a case that almost put their freedom on hold. 3 years later, the unthinkable happened. Durk walked free. But how did detectives have them on camera and fumble the case? Or did Von take the fall so the voice could return to the streets? There's 3 possible theories, and even more if you thought hard enough. So I'ma expose 3 of them and get y'all to do the rest. Without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. If you're anybody that's anybody, most likely you hip to Durk and Kingvon. Both of them have a history of being active in the streets and are well known throughout Chicago. Both black disciples, and both of them were at the front of the feud that's in Chicago. But the streets is a dark place, and the name of the game is making it out. That proved easier said than done for the two. The ops was on their head, but being shooters themselves allegedly, with other alleged shooters in their camp, they could go tit for tat, but the problem was the law. They couldn't shoot it out with the boys in blue. All you could do is try to move in silence and make sure you got the bank for that lawyer fee if they catch you lacking. For sure, as time went on, Kingvon and Durk couldn't avoid catching cases forever. And when I tell you these dudes was outside, they was outside. Von and Durk had racked up so many charges, their mugshots dang near show their growth from youngins to adults. Von was going deeper into the darkness, but Durk found a way out to help him from the path they were on. That became music. Coming up with Chief Keef and them, he was a part of the era that is argued to start the drill culture in hip-hop.
Right, you know what that means? What would you call that move?
So we call it drill music.
Drill music. Okay,
Drill
cool,
music.
cool.
Like how you all hyped up and just
No doubt.
ready to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad we created that type of style though. I ain't trying to copy off nobody or be like nobody in the past.
It took some grinding, but Durk went from a savage in the streets to the voice of the streets, building up a hefty catalog of bangers. When one makes it out, both make it out. Durk remained true to that code and made sure to use his buzz to help put Von on. From interviews to shows, Durk always tried to put Von in the spotlight.
Kingvon. King Bob. Yeah. King Bob.
All right, man, yo, Durk, introduce this guy right here. I don't know who he is.
Kingvon, you know what I'm saying, one of the hottest in Chicago.
Yeah, because you know it's like I started shit out with him. Like he started up with me and everything. Like people get to noticing me and shit. He bringing me to his interviews and pulling up a chair right here and letting me sit right there.
Just like that, they both was trying to take over the music industry with bangers like Crazy Story Remix and taking over stages performing their music together. They was really like twins for real. Von took the torch and took off running, building a buzz in the rap game with his tactical storytelling and raw bars seen in the projects like Grandson Volume 1. From the look of things, him and Durk was about to run the rap game, but that sprung the cops' trap card. In 2019, the cops slid, jeopardizing their career and worse yet, their freedom. The twins was out vibing on February 5th of that year, while at the Varsity restaurant in Atlanta, they got into it with an op, and let's just say it didn't go well for that person. Durk and Von allegedly left the scene unscathed while homie was in a pool of blood. News reports would begin to provide information in the public on what allegedly happened. It was stated by a female eyewitness that she was outside a cigar bar at around 5 a.m. talking to Banks, aka Durk, and Von when they saw a fight in the car in front of them. She then saw Durk up the pole and shots were heard going off.
I spoke to a witness who was there at the scene when the incident took place.
Churchill said the witness told him she was standing outside talking to Banks and Bennett in front of a cigar bar around 5 in the morning, February 5th, when they saw a fight in the car in front of them.
Mr. Banks pulled out a weapon.
The scene turned into a mass panic, and everybody was dipping and fleeing for their life while the evil twins allegedly was airing it out.
Witnesses tell me bullets flew through the air and whipped past their heads here on Spring Street Tuesday morning.
The bullets got to coming through, and I crawled through the club.
People who were inside the one cigar bar and lounge got down and just waited for the gunfire to finally stop.
Witnesses had the scene sounding like Von and Durk were shaking down the whole block with the choppers. At the end of the gunfire, reports state that the witnesses went around the building to see a man lying in a pool of blood. The person was found to be Alexander Witherspoon.
Bro, like, let's be honest. When's the last time Lil Durk even got into legal trouble? You get what I mean? Like, into serious legal trouble to the point where, you know, he even had to appear in court and actually, you know, they're threatening with, you know, with prison time. Like, let's be real, bro. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that. Simply because Lil Durk is the kind of guy to just, you know, move on from that kind of lifestyle. Even though he still involves himself around certain people and whatnot like that, he's not actually, like, you know, willing to go to jail or anything like that, simply because he's away from that lifestyle. He made a way for himself. He got music. He's straight now. You get what I mean? But Kingvon, on the other hand, bro, does not care. Before or after the fame, bro has stayed an absolute menace, and he's pretty much willing to do whatever he wants to do, basically. If he sees a op, he's not gonna just let him leave. Like, bro, you see a op lacking, oh, let's get him. Look, we all know that one friend who's just ready to go, bro, ready to go no matter what, and and you got that other person who's just like, nah, like, who's trying to be smarter, but, you know, Kingvon is just ready no matter what. You get what I mean? He's not really thinking. All he's really thinking is just, we gotta go get this guy. He's lacking. You get what I mean? But yeah, man. But ever since Kingvon passed away, it just looks like Lil Durk has been chilling. You get what I mean? He hasn't really done anything crazy, if you get what I mean, to actually, you know, threaten to the point where they, you know, want to threaten his life and actually throw him in prison. But I'm pretty sure they're still stuck on this whole thing as well. You get what I mean? They're trying to put him back in prison or put him back in court for this whole entire situation. But I don't think they really can, simply because it wasn't him alone. It was, you know, Kingvon. So if Kingvon was still alive, that's what I'm saying. If Kingvon was still alive, bro, he would be in that pen. He would be in prison or fighting many charges, matter of fact. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to do too much yapping. Let's just go back to playing the video.
The race to save his life was on as he was rushed to the nearest hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg in a serious condition.
They rushed to the nearest hospital in serious condition.
In a twist of miraculous events, bro survived after being listed as critical. But not only that, he got to telling detectives what was the rundown and who were the savages that plotted on his life. According to him, he was big balling outside the restaurant in the parking lot with his iced out chain and 30 bands that had his...
Not only that, bro, they ran up on him, thought he was dead. They got him, hit him so many times. They actually thought he was dead. Like, this guy's dead. He's done for. You get what I mean? And they drove off, bro. Snatched his chain, everything, bro. And imagine just chilling out, bragging, not even bragging, right? Imagine just knowing, checking the news or whatnot and seeing he actually survived, bro. the guy you shot up and tried to kill actually survived. And bro, I bet your heart must stop after that. Like, bro, you already know you're going to prison, bro. You already know you're going to court, bro. You get what I mean? You're already knowing, bro. Like, let's be real. Because he's gonna snitch, bro. He's gonna snitch. And that's exactly what he did. But let's keep going.
Fighting for dear life, and that was the motive for Durk and Von trying to do him in. Bro claimed that they snatched his chain, gave his pocket some much-needed relief, and dipped off in the whip too. At this point, Von and Durk are making bank off music, especially Durk, so why would they stoop so low? But that's what Witherspoon said, so hey. What's funny though is that bro seems to not be an innocent civilian himself. Word got out that he's an alleged vice lord that is known for scamming and wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight. Nonetheless, Durk and Von was about to be in big trouble because the cops were heavy on the scene pulling surveillance footage from businesses in that area that had a view of the situation.
A detective on the stand today said the rapper, who is used to being in front of the cameras, was actually caught on cameras at the Varsity, the BP here, and other businesses that put him at the scene of the crime.
Once they assessed the footage, even more details were made public. According to detectives, surveillance footage shows Durk and them driving off in a dark-colored SUV with his hand out the window, still trying to murk Alexander, even after he was already hit and running for his life.
And Detective Churchill says several security cameras in the area show Banks and Bennett firing at Witherspoon even after Witherspoon was shot and running away.
At the scene of the shooting, officers found multiple shell casings, and it was said that there was about 18 bullets found. In May, just about 3 months after the incident, cops couldn't wait to snatch bro and them up and made them move to arrest Von first.
Is there anything on you guys want? Money.
Then Durk was the next target of the attention, and a warrant was put out for his arrest. At the time, Durk was on tour, but after he heard about the warrant, he dipped from touring and began preparations to turn himself in by doing an interview with a news station.
He stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. He was actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
Durk also dropped off the track Turn Myself In, saying he's innocent before facing the long road ahead of him. Him and Von would get the full details on what they were fighting on their first court appearance. The judge found probable cause for an attempted hit, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a felon. The prosecution finally had their chance to get the evil twins off the streets and was throwing everything they could at Durk and Von. Right down to flying in a Chicago gang unit detective to testify that Durk and them are members of the notorious Black Disciples gang. Von was in there watching bro like, Your Honor, folks up here capping. If that was the first time hearing about Von and Durk, you'd swear that they was America's most wanted.
Try to connect the shooting to gang activity, a claim Aurora says has not been proven.
He just told you that both of the experts in this case said no gang connection.
At the end of the court session, it seemed to have worked because the judge gave them the green light to take the case to trial. Things was looking dire for the evil twins and they were held without bond, but their legal team was working overtime. Prosecutors actually wanted to keep him locked up, but the judge came through clutch and rejected the motion, instead granting Durk $250K bond.
Now I know you're from Chicago. I know you probably know gang members, even if you're not in a gang. This is your freedom at stake. This is your decision to make. And as a side note, the judge that just gave you bond is actually a Packer fan. So.
Durk turning himself in and now running was more of a move that worked in his favor, showing that he's not a flight risk. The conditions to stay out on bond was that Durk can't be around a weapon, has to wear an ankle monitor while on 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. curfew, and there cannot be any witness intimidation.
So he got that $250,000 bond conditions. Lil Durk cannot be anywhere near a weapon, not in his car, not in his house. He's also on a curfew that requires him to be at home from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And of course, the judge said there can be no witness intimidation.
Durk came out that mug happy as hell, but he had the case ahead of him still.
We out here. We out here. Yo, what's up? I'm getting sorry if the motherfucker popping, man.
New chain alert.
The legal team also came through for Von because he too touched back on the streets with a message for everybody saying that he would stay locked up.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my but I want coming out on something.
Prosecutors did achieve one thing though. They got to separate the evil twins because they couldn't be around each other, so the shows together, the interviews, everything was no more.
Yeah, so yeah, me and Durk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or some shit.
So even when you're on tour, you can't really be around each other too much?
Nah, we can't. Nah, hell nah.
The case went under the radar, and even though they couldn't directly work together, they still supported each other heavy. Durk continued going up, and Von took off with his career as well, right up to the release of the street classic Welcome to O Block on October 2020. Sadly, on November 6, 2020, Von's time in the spotlight would be cut short when his life was lost after an altercation with rapper.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna end this video here. As you can see, Lil Durk and kingvon were, you know, the evil twins and whatnot, and bro, Kingvon, bro, if I had to pick Lil Durk or Kingvon to be, you know, one of the most violent ones out of the duo, I'd easily pick Kingvon, bro. Kingvon is ready for anything. You get what I mean? As soon as he sees his op, he's not even gonna think, bro. He's gonna run up on you, bro. Like, that's the way he's always been, and he's not gonna let money change him. You get what I mean? He's been the same before and after the money. Like, bro, you get what I mean? But at the end of the day, bro, the whole Quando Rondo situation, I'm not sure what happened with that, but all I'm knowing is, you know, Kingvon saw Lil Durk, heard Quando Rondo was at the same area as him, you know. Kingvon walked up to Quando Rondo, basically standing on business, and, you know, tried to fight Quando Rondo unexpectedly. And, you know, Quando Rondo didn't even know what was going on. He didn't even know why he was hit by Kingvon. But you know, one of Quando Rondo's friends ended up defending Quando Rondo, and I'm not talking about just jumping in like a normal human being, trying to get Kingvon from trying to basically pull Kingvon off from actually beating up his friend Quando Rondo. It's not like that, man. This is the streets, and the streets do not play fair. Bro pulled out a gun, shot Kingvon until, you know, he was in critical condition. He was alive. It's not like he died instantly. He was alive, but, you know, he just didn't make it. But yeah, man, sadly he didn't make it, and that was the end of Kingvon. But yeah, man, all I'm saying is Kingvon was an absolute man in 10. You know, if Kingvon was ready to do anything, he was well ready to convince Lil Durk to do it with him. But without further ado, gonna end the video here. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe for more content, man. Peace out.